In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how I created this elevation using AutoCAD software. Now, elevation is basically a drawing that shows the heights of the building along with the type of finishes on the walls and the types of windows and other necessary items. I also like to incorporate the dimension callouts here, like so. And these I do not leave just for the section. So when someone is pricing or someone is looking at my drawings at the elevations, they will understand what heights they are working with. So let's begin. The first thing that you need to do is simply copy one of your floor plans that has the least annotations, and in this case I'm going to copy the reflected ceiling plane which I had drawn earlier in the earlier videos. Let's just copy this, move it up. You don't have to be specific, you can just move it up anyhow, because we are going to actually move it into its specific location once we're done with the elevations. A lot of referencing will be done here. Now the next thing that I'll need to do is type RO for rotate, then press enter. Then we'll rotate this. So that this elevation will be drawn first. Now the reason why I have rotated this, because this is where our lean-to roof will be. So from here we can project the angle of the roof and draw the long elevations later on. So after I've done the rotation, I'll just delete all the unnecessary hatches in here. I try to get several things done at one time in AutoCAD so that I don't waste time doing one thing while the rest is left unchecked. And I also try to keep my work consistent. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll shoot up the projection lines. That's specifically the outside of the building. That's one there. We'll just rotate this line. We don't have to create another X line unnecessarily. Or X line is construction line. Then we'll do an offset of 750 millimeters from this line. Now this line is our ground line. 750 mm is the finishing floor level height from exposed ground level to prevent any moisture entering into the building. There are other ways to prevent moisture from entering the building. You can waterproof your foundation walls, or you can do other things like that. But this is not the basics of that video, so I'll leave it to the structural video. Right. So now that you have offset your 750 mm, what you'll need to do is offset the floor thickness, that is 150 mm. This is the floor finished floor level. Then you'll have to do another offset of 2.4 meters, 2400 mm or 8 feet. Now this height 2.4 meter has been taken from finished floor level, and this top height is the outline of the ceiling cladding that you'll be using. Either it's a chipboard, or it's a masonite, or it's a plyboard, or you're using a grid ceiling, whatever you think is right. Any other framing will be done above this, not below this line. So now that you have drawn your outline, the first thing that you'll need to do is draw your rectangle. Just do a full rectangle. Then you need a polyline and draw that one over there. So that is your outline of the floor slab. Now that is going to be hidden, so what I'll do is I'll just simply change the properties over here. Don't need to create an unnecessary layer. You can delete this out because this is unnecessary. Now the next thing that I'll do is offset this one at a distance of 300 mm from the top to determine my lintel level. Now my lintel level is 2.1 meters from the finished floor level, and that is where the top heads of the windows and doors are going to terminate. Okay, the next thing that I'll do is copy this X line and just paste them along the outline of the windows. Now since both these windows are similar, I just have to do one, and I'll show you why I did not do the other one as well. And you can also copy and paste this for a door. like so. Now in our previous video I had shown you how to draw doors and windows. So what you'll need to do is go to that drawing and go to that section and bring your doors. In this case I've already have it set up here, and I'll show you how it's done in another video. So we'll just copy window number 3 and we'll copy door number 1 like so. Just copy them and paste them there to the elevation. You don't have to draw a door specifically, you can bring it in from another drawing. And you can line up your windows accordingly. So another neat trick that I forgot to tell you was these texts. When you're deleting your H's, you don't have to delete the texts. What you can do is just copy them up. Select your texts and just copy them up. Copy and then move them up from a base point. So my texts will be placed over here like so. Now I'll just line this with the door, line this with the window. Like so. And there you can see you have your window, and door. Now what I'll do is simply copy this window, or we can move this window. Don't go around snapping for centers. Simply type M2P to save your time. Similarly, we can do the same here. M2P, that's mirror or move to point. Snap it there and snap it there. Now that you can see that the window has been centered perfectly into its place. But the next thing that we'll do is copy the window from this base point and just paste it to this base point like so. And there you go. That's a time of yours saved. You don't have to draw X lines unnecessarily. Now the next thing that we'll do is we will offset this door. We'll copy this door. Rather, we can just move it because it's one door. Find the center and just mirror to point, M2P. And paste it there like so. Then I'll move it out at a distance. I'll say 9,000 millimeters. And remember that figure because you'll be moving it back in. Ungroup this. Delete anything that is unnecessary over here and rectify anything that will show up too dark. Just change its color. Elevations don't need to be too dark, they just need to have a light color. Then we'll regroup this. Type RE for regenerate. If it goes back, then just move this back by the number that I had said earlier, that's 9,000 mm. And it will move perfectly back into its place. Now what we'll do is we'll delete this. And then what we'll do is move the grids up. So we just take these grids and we'll move them up at a distance that you think is right. What we can do is we can also delete those lines because they are now unnecessary. And then what we'll do is we'll simply just change the rotation so that the text looks straight. You'll have to keep on playing with this a bit so that you get the right text. So that's wrong, that's not right. Then we'll change it to 90 degrees. And then press OK. Now that angle is okay, what you can do is double click, select your text, copy that angle and press OK. Do the rest for all these. Do the same for the rest of these. And just paste your angle there. So you don't have to keep on working out your angle. There you go. Just select these lines, these grids, and trim them off slightly. And if you think that this grid is too high, just leave it there for now because you'll be setting up the roof. Now the next thing I'll do is draw another 2 sets of construction lines and just offset it by a distance of 600 mm. 600 mm is the maximum overhang that I like to use because that is quite a bit of material saving. So we have to determine which direction our roof is going to fall. So I don't like to keep my roof fall near the front. Better to hide it at the back where the bedrooms are. You can have it in your way, whichever way you think is right. Now if you wish to bring this one this side, you just have to select, type MI for mirror, press enter, M2P, 2 points, just mirror it to the other side like so, and type N for not delete. Now what I'll do is simply type PL for polyline, then I'll start drawing from here and end it all the way here. Then I'll type extend command, EXTEND, press enter, extend this line outwards and just select whichever line is necessary. Now what we'll do is simply rotate this line, type RO for rotate, take this base point, then type R, press enter, select it over here and select it over here, go up and enter a distance of 5 and press enter. Now if this is wrong, you just have to mirror this. Like so. And just move these ones down. And there you go. Now you have a perfect line that shows that you are offsetting at 600 mm. Don't worry about that 602 is just giving it, but it's actually 600 mm. Okay, now next thing that we'll do is we'll offset a distance of 200 mm, and that is our fascia board. Then we'll type PL for polyline and we'll make it like so. Don't be perfect, don't have to be perfect. Then what I'll do is type F space, then I'll type R space, then I'll type 0 and press enter. So that this one and this one become one perfect corner. You can do the same over here. And then you just enter your fillet once, select your lines, and there you go. Then we'll draw another polyline, and that will be over here. Close it off over here, and then like so. So you get 2 different sets of wall. You can have this as a feature wall, and you can place your wall separately. And the next thing that I like to do is I like to just create the roof as it should be. So I'll draw an X line over here. Then I'll offset it by 25 mm. Then I'll draw another X line like so. And offset that by 20 mm. Then I type REC for rectangle. Press enter. Snap to that corner and then go up diagonally. Select these 2 lines and delete them. And what I can do is simply mirror these guys so that they set it right into place. Don't worry if it's too high up, you can just move it down so that you get one clean and consistent fascia board. Now I'll just simply bring in my gutter profile and put it over here so that it looks like an elevation. I'll be using a 150 mm square line gutter, so I'll edit, I'll make the notes accordingly. The best thing about making drawings in a modulated manner is that you do not waste materials and space, and you actually get to save up quite a lot. And we'll move this one outside. Type XL for X line, then do that there, draw it there. Type UN for ungroup, press enter. Oops. You have to type UNG, that's ungroup, and press enter. Select this, and there you go, it has ungrouped it. Now what you can do is select these two lines and then type TR, press enter, and just delete it. Trim off the unnecessary lines and the hatches. If you get a hatch like that, what you can do is just move it back up into place and leave it. Don't have to worry about trimming that because it's not going to show up. Or if it starts to bother you and it makes you want to kill yourself, what you can do is just type polyline, close this off, and then you can just hatch inside. Be sure to delete that polyline. Then select your hatch, put it to solid, select it again, and just move it down over here like so. Then delete this. Select this, type G for group, then press enter. And there you go. Since this is a lean-to roof, it will have gutter on one side only. Now what we can do is type a rectangle, select it from there, bring it up over there, and move this one out. And you type H for H, then press enter. We'll do a solid hatch. We'll select our wall paint finish color. I'll just leave it to a beige color. And then just simply move the hatch into place. Like so. Don't worry about it covering the windows. I'll give you another trick how we can prevent that from happening. Make sure your hatch is not transparent. Then you select your hatch, type DR, press enter, and send it back like so. This line can be moved to the front, so you can say DR, enter, and we move it to the front. Select this line again and put it to number 7 white. Now for the top, as I said that this is a feature wall, what we can do is put a outline of weatherboard on top, so it looks neat. I'll just type H for H, then press enter. And then I'll select one of the lines that I think look like a weatherboard and just hatch it in there. Now here comes the fun part. Select this and you start manipulating your angles in your hatches so that it actually looks like a weatherboard. And you can also change your scale here to make it look more realistic. Weatherboards are not that close as it's shown here, so you can make them look real. You can say that this has an angle of 45. Now sometimes this hatch angle tends to play around, it tends to multiply, so you have to do things manually. And that should be more than enough. Now we'll just realign it so that it looks neat. I'll put magenta over here, and I can leave it to that color, or I can just change the solid to another color. There you go. Now we'll just move this one back into place. Now my drawings might not be perfect, but you can use my ideas to make your own elevations. Now what we'll do is we'll move this fascia board out, and we'll move it out with a distance. So the distance, how I determine my distance is I select all my lines, then I type the move command, and then I see how much distance it will be good. So in this case 10,285 is fine enough, so I'll just write 10,000, press enter. Okay, H4H, press enter, and select one of the colors that I'll know that is best suited for my fascia board. And we can also join these guys, press enter, and we can make it a thin outline, and we can use color number 7. There you go. Move it back with the same distance that you had created earlier. And now that you can see that it started to take its shape as an architectural elevation. Now how I decided the annotation scale, what I did is I simply put everything in here, then I go to the other side and try to scale it out. Now what I'll do is I'll copy this, the elevation, the callouts, the height callouts, and I'll only take the information that is crucial, not anything extra. And paste it over here like so. Don't worry about those lines extending out. I'll show you another way on how we can trim them off. Okay, so the ground line, instead of using RL here, we'll say GL. So that's ground line. You have to be careful here. You have to do this once and not all the time, so that you just have to copy and paste everything. And we can say that will be at a distance of 0.0 meters. Because I've imaginarily used a flat piece of land, so I don't have to give an RL unnecessary. Then we'll select everything along with this and move this up. Aim for move. And we'll paste it over here to the finished floor level. Then from there, what I'll do is I'll start setting up my window sills, like so. And like so. And this one can just be sitting on the roof. Like so. Now the best thing, now one thing that you can do if you want to be completely consistent is you just dimension all these. If you are not sure, if you've forgotten all your dimensions, you can just dimension these. So that you are sure of what's happening. Now here's how this works. Ground line 0.0 plus 750 mm plus 150 mm will give you a distance of 900 millimeters. So we can say that the finished floor level, we can say that the finished floor level is at a distance of 0.900 millimeters from the ground line. We'll say that this is the GL. GL plus 900 millimeters is equals to FFL. That's finished floor legend. And we can delete this unnecessary information. Similarly, we can say that 900 mm plus 296. So that's FFL plus this plus this. So it's best to have a calculator handy, or you can use a calculator in AutoCAD. So we'll say 900 plus 296, and that gives you a distance of 1 meter 196. So we'll say 1.196. 1.196. And that's window sill of whichever window you've set up here. In this case, it's window number 1. Now, the next thing that we'll do is, we'll say FFL plus this distance, and you get a total of, and you get your total window height. I believe I have made a mistake here. So just to correct that, it's this should be done like so. So that's your FFL plus 0.296 meters will equal to 1.196 from ground level, window sill level of window 1. Don't worry about these dimensions, we can delete them as well. Now, if you think that you are not sure of the dimension there, you can just simply measure it. 1.196 meters. Now, we'll say that window sill level, we'll say sill level SL plus 1084, 1.084 will give you your lintel level. Then we can say that SL, I'm sorry, that's my mistake. Again, sorry. We can say that SL plus 1084 is equals to the distance there. So what you can do is say 1804 plus your initial this level over here, 1.196, and it gives you a distance of 3 meters from the ground level. It's equals to 3 meters from the ground level, and I mean the ground line, and you have at 3 meters you'll have your lintel level. Now that's lintel level plus 300 mm, then you should get this distance as 3.3 meters. That's your ceiling finish level. Remember, this is from ground line, not from finish floor level, so you have to be careful. And then from there you just measure this distance, the distance between these two lines, do a DI plus enter, 905. So we'll say LL plus 905 lintel level plus 905, 0.905 meters is equals to what? Do that working in your calculator. So 3.3 meter plus 0.905, it gives you a finished roof height of 4.205 from the highest point. So this should equate to 4.205 to the highest point of the roof, right from ground level. Now there are other things that you can add into this elevation to make it look more appealing and more neat. So what I'll do is I'll do those in the next video. I'll show you how to actually create a porch in front here, how to make them look at separate levels, and I'll also show you how we can actually plot and publish this elevation. Until then, this is Shanil Narayan signing out. Goodbye.